Masquera say Mre Zimbabwe, welcome to our channel Zim Confessions and Deep Secrets. Kana kariki kutanga kukuya panino channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Kana uchungwa garoka subscribe. Don't forget to comment and share this video. Nasi Mre Zimbabwe takuigirai nyaya yabuditswa the South African government yabuda ichidismissa calls ekumuva this week's Southern African Development Community Summit from Zimbabwe. Kunyangwe zvazo pane mounting concerns aya ari kunze nyika yeZimbabwe haisi kufollow human rights so the summit irikufanira kumuvwa kwatiri kuita the Democratic Alliance South Africa, the main opposition party, yakabuda ichikurudzira Pretoria kuti ipindire munyaya iyi yorelocata the summit vachitaura pamusoro pema crackdowns akaitika muZimbabwe recently. The South African Department of International Relations and Cooperation yabuda ichitaura iyo ichiti the summit should proceed semarongerwa zvakaitwa muHarare vachitaura ivo vachiti South Africa haina authority yekuita overrule decision yakapiwa neSADC. Vakabuda vachitaura ivo vachiti nekuda kwekudaro the summit iri kufanira kuitika muHarare apo Zimbabwe iri kuwanikwa iri the incoming chair weSADC. Tomabudutiro akaitwa nyaya yacho na the Department of International Relations and Cooperation spokesperson of South Africa Clayson Monyela vachitaura ivo vachiti hazviite the SADC summit should proceed semarongero akaitwa SADC. The South Africa haina simba pamusoro penyaya idzodzi. The DA yakanga yabuda ichihighlighta kusungwa kwakaitwa vanhu nekutochwa kunoitwa maopposition politicians nemaactivists vachitaura ivo vachiti nekuda kwekudaro Zimbabwe haisi a safe place for the SADC summit. Basi vaMonyela the spokesperson with the Department of International Relations vabuda vachitaura vachiti South Africa inobhiliva kuti the issue yenyaya dziri kunetsa muZimbabwe inofanira kusolvwa through a dialogue. Tari kwatiri kuita vakataura vachiti South Africa iri ready kufacilitata matalks between maZimbabweans vakuru venyika the main opposition party vachitaura vachiti dialogue is the only way inokwanisa kuti nyaya yeZimbabwe ienderere mberi. The government's stance yakabuda ichicriticizwa nevanhu vazhinji muri Zimbabwe. Zvinombera mushe despite my ongoing concerns, the South African government yakabuda ichitaura iyo ichiti they remain committed to the regional solidarity. Vakabuda vachitaura kuti Cyril Ramaphosa is going to attend this summit muZimbabwe. Tisingazive kuti munoona sei nyaya iyi nyaya yakabuditswa myzimbabwe.com vachitaura ivo vachiri the South African government has dismissed calls to move this week's Southern African Development Community Summit from Zimbabwe, despite mounting concerns over the country's human rights record. The Democratic Alliance DA, South Africa's main opposition party, had urged Pretoria to intervene and relocate the summit, citing the recent crackdown on dissent in Zimbabwe. However, South Africa's Department of International Relations and Cooperation has maintained that the summit will proceed as planned in Harare, emphasizing that South Africa has no authority to overrule the SADC's decision. South Africa would have no authority to tell SADC that this summit can take place in Harare when Zimbabwe is the incoming chair, said Clayson Monyela, the Department of International Relations Cooperation spokesperson. And the DA had highlighted the arrest and alleged torture of several opposition politicians and activists in Zimbabwe, claiming that President Mnangagwa is tightening his grip on power to prevent protests during the summit. Monyela, however, asserted that South Africa believes these issues are best resolved through dialogue. Monyela was quoted as saying, South Africa sticks to the principles that these issues are best resolved by Zimbabweans themselves sitting around the table. He said South Africa stands ready to facilitate such discussions as it is before. Government stance has been met with criticism from some quarters who urge that the decision to maintain the summit's location in Harare sends a dangerous message about the SADC's commitment to upholding democratic principles and human rights. Despite the ongoing concerns, the South African government remains steadfast in its commitment to regional solidarity and has confirmed that President Cyril Ramaphosa will be attending the summit in Harare on August 17th. The upcoming SADC summit, scheduled for this coming weekend in Harare, has faced escalating calls to relocate as Zimbabwe's government continues cracking down on dissent. Widely known as the DA, South Africa's largest opposition party, has pushed authorities to move the event elsewhere, citing a climate unsuitable for hosting under ongoing arrests and prominent activists as evidence. The appeals followed the detention of human rights defender Namatai Kwekweza, a recipient of the prestigious 2023 Kofi Annan Next Gen Democracy Prize at Robert Mugabe Airport, along with 3 others, Robson Chere, Samuel Gwenzi, and Vusumusi Moyo, who remain in custody, facing disorderly conduct charges. Additionally, the DA highlighted the jailing of opposition politician Jameson Timber plus 77 activists arrested for allegedly convening an unauthorized political assembly and denied bail despite horrific detention conditions. Moving the summit is essentially to send a strong message against the suppression of democratic rights, the DA statement read. The DA urges that allowing the summit to proceed under these circumstances would endorse ZANU-PF's abuse of international law and undermine the principles that SADC was established on. The Blue Party also claims President Mnangagwa's upcoming SADC chairmanship is a testament to the continued failure of regional leaders to hold the Zimbabwean government accountable. The DA was quoted as saying, "Allowing the summit to proceed under the current circumstances, we will not only endorse ZANU-PF's flagrant abuse of international law, but further determine the principles upon which SADC was established. President Mnangagwa's upcoming SADC chairmanship is testament to the continued failure of regional leaders to hold these political thugs to account," said the DA in a statement. However, the South Africa's ruling party, the ANC, has dismissed the DA's call and stated that the summit should proceed as planned in Zimbabwe. If there are any issues needing the region's attention in Zimbabwe, they will be discussed in Zimbabwe, not away from it, ANC spokesperson Zuko told the DA and everyone else who bothered to listen. Meanwhile, the South African government has also revealed its plans to pursue its case against Israel at the United Nations Security Council, following the apparent lack of impact from the International Court of Justice provisional orders against Israel in Gaza. The government is considering submitting a resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and will also be presenting its arguments on the substantive case against Israel in October. The government also expressed concern over the recent controversial elections in Venezuela, but has indicated that it will withhold its judgment on the outcome until the Supreme Court has received the results. The government has also provided an update on efforts to secure the release of 2 South African engineers, Frick and Peter, who were arrested and convicted of drug trafficking in Equatorial Guinea. While acknowledging the family's frustrations over the case, the Department of International Relations and Cooperation officials emphasized that Equatorial Guinea is a sovereign state and that the government is working to ensure that 2 men are treated fairly and have access to consular services. The government has also reaffirmed its strong diplomatic relations with Nigeria, despite the controversy surrounding the withdrawal of Miss South Africa contestant from the competition. Finally, the government has expressed support for the SADC military mission in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, noting that the ceasefire negotiated by Angolan president has come into effect. Tozo Buda machitaura muri Zimbabwe tikaziye kuti mwina sei nyaya itudzo zvamuri kufunga pamusoro penyaya iyi mu comment section.